Thank you everybody for coming today, and we're really excited to give you a preview of LeanLaw Payments, which is a significant new feature that we've added to the product. This is also sort of a test case for how we want to introduce major product improvements to the product as we go forward, rather than just, you know, a note in intercom or just having the product changes appear. We want to make sure that you're more aware of what's happening and have a good chance to adopt them. So let's start talking about LeanLaw Payments. The agenda for today, I want to talk a little bit more about the company's vision and where we think we're going, and so you have the whole context there. Then we'll give you a look at LeanLaw Payments, talk about next steps, and then take your questions. So our vision and our mission is to help law firms become better businesses. I'm a 35-year practicing lawyer. I'm a partner in a 40-lawyer law firm. I've lived this, and I'm very passionate about, as is our entire team, about helping law firms improve their practices and just become much stronger on the business side and the financial side of what they're doing. So how do we help your business? So our technology really sits at the cross section of automation, integration. We collect data and provide you insights in that respect. So we have a strong workflow automation, and we, you know, that's what a lot of these tools are for, is to eliminate manual work for you. We use smart integrations like the QuickBooks integration and others that we're working on to give you a best of breed innovative mindset with connectivity into the best tools. We're very keen on business insights. So we want to help you understand in your firm who's doing well, who isn't, how to make your business better. And then finally, this whole process of e-payments and retainer management really can help the bottom line of your firm significantly. So where are we going? So we really want to focus on technology-enabled workflows throughout your firm. And that's going to help align all the stakeholders, your managing partner, your timekeeper, your operators, and your clients. So I'm just going to rattle off some of our key initiatives as we get into this. First one is better billing workflow and QBO integration. We've got a significant focus on improving those things. Smarter time tracking, make that painful task easier for everybody. Client engagement and onboarding workflows. That's kind of a next phase of the financial focus of our company, is to improve client engagement, get them onto your platform and using it easily, make the billing easier. More insightful, configurable reports. We should make big progress on this in the next couple of quarters. AI, artificial intelligence throughout the product. We want to make sure that we take full advantage of the advances that are happening there. We have the opportunity to add payroll and other financial workflows to what you're doing to automate all of your financially related workflows. A recent thing that we started working on is potentially tech-embedded banking. So think of an online bank that has all the tools that you need for your firm. And then finally, our topic for today is LeanLaw Payments. So let's turn to that. So this feature and this initiative is really driven by one of our largest clients, who is very keen on having an electronic payment system. So their goal was to have 100% retainers, 100% electronic payments, and 0 accounts receivable, which is a laudable goal for a law firm. So that firm today is collecting over $600,000 a month using LeanLaw Payments with no paper. And so we really see this as the law firm billing workflow of the future. So that is universal electronic retainers, automated invoice delivery emails with clear payment instructions, a smart payment interface, and then automated accounting. And so that's our goal with this product. You're coming in very early as we're developing this, but we have all of those areas functional in the product. Are there any questions before I go on? Okay, hearing none. I want to talk just a little bit about the financial case for e-payments. So I put two law firms up on the board here. One of them uses an all manual process, and one uses an all electronic process to bill and collect their money. And so what flows downstream from that is based on the industry data as we understand it. So both firms worked $3 million worth of time. The manual firm collects about 2,400,000 of that, about 80%. That's typical throughout the industry. If you move to electronic billing, you can increase that by 15%. So all of a sudden, you've got $450,000 more in the pot. The cost to invoice is also significantly lower if you use electronic invoices. This is just improving that, eliminating those manual processes. About $30 an invoice here. If it's 1,000 invoices, $3,000 a piece. So it costs about $30 to send one of those manually when you count all of the time that people have to spend. That can be reduced to around 3,000 with an electronic process. So you've just added $27,000 to the top line revenue, or to the bottom line revenue at that point. Then this line is supposed to assess the cost of your accounts receivable. So if you have $250,000 on average of accounts receivable, which you do in this manual situation where you have 30 to 60 days to collect things, that's the cost of that, if you're being the bank to your client, is about $25,000 a year if you value that at 10% interest. That can be reduced by 80% if you go to an electronic system where the average payment is 4 or 5 days. So another $20,000. So you've got the potential gain from manual to all electronic of over $500,000 in this, theoretical 10-lawyer law firm. It's not free though. I mean, there is, you pay fees on these, and sometimes you can surcharge those fees to your client and they pay them. But assuming that you assume the cost of all of the fees, that's at 70% credit cards, 30% ACH. That would cost this firm $66,000 a year. And so you take that off the top off of the savings, you're still $440,000 ahead. Now, I assume most of your firms are probably somewhere in between here, and you may be looking for different things. Maybe this is really just the pain of manual workflow, and so if you're kind of choking on the larger cost, there are ways to make this less expensive by focusing on ACH or surcharging that can help you. But what we really want is for everybody to sort of adopt this as a goal to go all electronic, because the benefits are so overwhelming when you look at the overall picture. All right, so let's take a look at what the product looks like. So the whole idea of this is to get paid more, save time, and align with your clients. So when the first part of this is an invoice delivery email. Many of you may be sending emails manually now for your invoices that you're sending and just attaching a PDF. Let's assume you're using QuickBooks Payments, which is our default payment system today. A payments email that QuickBooks send looks something like this. So it's very generic. It can have your logo on it, but not a lot else. So this is the look that you get. And so what that wasn't really satisfactory to a lot of our clients, particularly to this one that kind of drove the process of going here. So we came up with this as the alternative. And this is our version 1. We are very open to changes and we'll be making significant changes to this along the way, but we think it's a good first effort. The first part of it is a fully configurable email text box with client-specific fields, like there's the responsible attorney, here's the client, here's your email information attached to this. You can make this say whatever you want. The second thing is, apart from the Pay Now button in the middle, which is very important, is a detailed account summary, including anything you've done in trust. This can be quite involved if you're using most complex form of trust accounting. All of this is generated automatically and placed on the email. So what that does is gives clarity to your client to know what's happening in their account and what they have to pay. And then finally, for the details, we already have the complete QuickBooks invoice, which is attached here. One day that will be a LeanLaw invoice, which will be, will eliminate some of the limitations we have today, plus a complete trust activity statement. So you've got a lot going on here to help gain clarity and alignment with your client. So what's next? What happens when you click that Pay Now button? You get this. So this is what we call a smart payment link. And it's smarter than what you get if you just use a generic link with LawPay or QuickBooks. In that, number one, it knows what the invoice amount is, or if there's a full balance, what the full balance is to pay. Secondly, you have the opportunity to outline your payment choices. So here's where you kind of get your figure out what strategy you want to adopt here. So you have debit and credit cards, you can have ACH. If applicable, you could have a surcharge amount there. You could not offer credit cards and just offer ACH. You've got a lot of choices to kind of direct your clients where to go on your invoice payment. Then finally, the easy, familiar payment instructions that you're used to with an online payment system. Your client clicks here, and then they've paid. Meanwhile, what you have is the way to track the emails. It's not like they just go off into Never Never Land, as they often do if you don't have a tool like this, but it will tell you whether that email's been delivered, whether it's been opened, whether it's been clicked. And in a very recent development, we have a field which will show you whether it's been paid or not by connecting with QuickBooks. Our partner, Gravity Payments, also has a page like this with a little more detailed information on what's happening on the payment side. So the other thing that happens when a payment is made is that both you and your client receive a receipt so that you'll know that the invoice has been paid. Now, like I said, we're just getting started. So we have other features planned for that invoice delivery email, such as a current invoice summary, including an AI-generated summary, which is kind of exciting how that works. You can put in information about your team, maybe even with pictures of them if you want to do that. So to kind of personalize this again, to try and gain that alignment with your client about what's been done, who did it, and for them to see the value of the work that you're creating. There also can be we're working on a work in progress summary if you want to give your client a forecast of what's coming up in their matter. So just looking at the people who are most affected by this feature, this really, we think, provides benefits from everyone. And as we've talked to you as clients and to some legal clients, we see some real value here. So if I'm a partner in a law firm, you know, and then I am a partner in a law firm. So, you know, I just hated that idea that I was leaving money on the table, and you know, that I was putting in hours that weren't going to be realized. So that was very important to me. And also, there's the invoice, and the invoicing process is just not a good one, not a good experience for the client. And so you're trying to be super professional. You know, you work so hard at that, and then your client gets a surprise invoice. It doesn't communicate well. So it just puts you in you know, it's like the worst interaction that you have with your client. We're trying to change that experience fundamentally. This is our first effort at that. If you're an operator in a law firm, you know what kind of manual work can be created by your workflows. Even if you've got some parts of it set up electronically, there's still a lot of gaps, usually a lot of manual work that you have to do. You know, there's a better way, and a way that is more automated. That's what we're creating here with LeanLaw Payments. And this can save, you know, we've had dozens of hours a month for our clients. We have already had those reports. And then think about your client. I hinted at this a little bit to say that, you know, they get these bills, they're hard to understand. It sometimes takes so long to get the bill. And now that I'm, you know, in this business, I get lots of bills like this. It's like, it's 30 days after the work was done. What did they do? Why was that valuable to me? You just don't want that kind of interaction with your client. And they want to pay electronically, right? So that's how people are used to paying these days. I, as a COO of a law firm, I pay all of a software company, I pay all of our bills, and it drives me crazy if I have to make a manual payment. I want to be able to pay that bill electronically. Your firm, if not now, certainly very soon, will have to be able to offer that option to clients, because that's how they're going to expect to be paid. All right, so what does it all cost? So we think competitive rates. So a credit and debit card is 2.95% of the transaction amount. In many states, that can be surcharged if you don't want to eat that cost yourself. We have an ACH same-day option, which most clients are choosing, which is similar to a wire transfer. So it's a 1% charge with a $30 maximum charge. If you want a lower cost option, there is a way to pay about a third of that through ACH that will close over 3 or 4 days. So that's really LeanLaw Payments. And now I'm just going to pause there and see if we've gotten any questions. Tracy, what are we hearing out there?
The question just came in. It says, it's from Anne. It says, currently in QBO, QuickBooks payments are automatically recorded and then auto-matched to the payment deposits on the banking screen. This saves a considerable amount of time when doing reconciliations. Will this functionality be available?
Yes, and you probably know more about that than I do, but I think we can provide this today. If not, we will provide it very soon, where all of the trust accounting, where all of the accounting is automated, which will, you know, attach this. It does a lot of things. If you've got a trust transaction, unlike QuickBooks Payments, you can put payments both into your trust account and into your operating account. So that was one of the real reasons we, you know, couldn't move on in payments with our very important partner, QuickBooks, because they only support sending payments to one account, and we needed something different there. And so we can do that. It also, we have compliant charges for surcharging, as well as the fees. So they go to your operating account as opposed to your trust account. And, the idea is that everything is automated on the accounting side. I think, just to be fully transparent, a little of that remains to be worked out, but we think that, that's where we're going very soon. And that is where, in many cases, that's where we are today. So Tracy, do you have anything to add to that? Because you're working on the with the operators a lot on the accounting side of this.
Yeah, excuse me, right now it does seem to be matching. I think, and I would have to look and get back to everybody, but I think sometimes it depends on if you're choosing to have a separate invoice created, if you're passing surcharges along. So it gets a little complicated in the differences, but yes, for the most part, it will match very similar to Intuit Payments. We have another question from Kelsey.
Mhm.
No, does the payment post the day it's paid or posted when the payment is actually deposited into the account? And I can answer that. It comes through your bank feed when it's actually deposited into the account, but it will post the invoice as paid on the day that the client clicks and makes the payment.
Okay.
And as a side note to that, Gravity has a great dashboard. So you're able to see things in the various stages, even from like when it's paid to when it's actually posted and deposited.
Yeah, I think in the future, I'm going to add a slide with the showing that Gravity Payments dashboard, because that is quite good when you get into the details of the payments.
Okay, and hey, Shonda. Shonda wants to know, what is the credit card processing fee rate? And you already showed that the
2.95%. Yes. Yeah. Okay. If there are no more questions, let's move forward to talk about the next steps. So you've been hearing from Tracy, who is our onboarding lead and one of the great members of our onboarding team. So when you're ready to set it up, we'll show you how to sign up with Tracy, and she'll walk you through the onboarding. Because some of this is a little bit complicated to get set up right, and that's really the key to success here, we really recommend that everybody take advantage of that onboarding and not try to do it yourself, at least not entirely by yourself. So please sign up with Tracy when you're ready to get moving on that. Now we have Chase Sullivan, many of you know, is our Director of Client Success. So if you're having problems with payments, you can reach out to Chase, and he'll help you address your issues. As you know, we have very smart and very responsive support at LeanLaw.
Hey, Gary, we had another question, and I'm
yeah.
not sure if you're going there yet. As far as, are you talking about trust requests at all?
Oh, okay. So
Kelsey had wanted to know if they can collect retainer payments to the system. And do you want to answer that?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
So it's just like any other trust request, and if you've got Gravity set up, it runs through the system just like it would with QuickBooks Payments. Did I get that right, Tracy?
Yes.
Good. Yay. So just to give you a little sense of what it's like to onboard. So there is and we'll help you walk through all of this. There's a pretty simple payment setup in LeanLaw. So, you have to pick some settings for how you want to use it, turn it on. And then the other part of it is setting up Gravity Payments. So you can get started on that easily in LeanLaw. And then what happens is you get an application for a Gravity account. And just like any payments account of this kind, you have to provide some information for the anti-fraud laws about your firm and some of the people in it. And so, then we help you submit that application. Gravity reviews it. And over the course of 2, 3, 4 days, that application will be approved. And then you're on your way. And that's really all it takes to get onboarded. Is there anything you've experienced at onboarding that would be helpful for people to know, Tracy?
No, it's pretty simple. I think just the just the fact that they will need to have, kind of be prepared to have some documentation like such as canceled check and bank statements and things like that. But for the most part, it's pretty simple, and it's a quick process to get it done as far as filling everything out.
Right. Right.
Um,
And then I did want to note that Gravity is working on some changes that should be coming fairly soon, like this quarter, to simplify that process. So it's, you know, you won't have to provide bank statements and canceled checks. It'll be more like a plaid type of onboarding if you've done that before.
yeah, we had a couple other questions just so that they don't get too far ahead of us.
Yeah.
And wanted to know if there were fees for trust deposits. And I actually answered her. I typed out the answer, but just in case people aren't monitoring the Q&A channel, there are fees, just like any other credit card or ACH fee, but those fees will come out of the operating account, not your trust account.
Right.
And then, Kelsey wanted to know if there's an added fee for this new service, and I told her, nope, it's all part of their LeanLaw subscription.
Exactly. Okay.
All right.
So after this webinar is over. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, we have one more
One more
from
question.
two more
Two
from
more.
Deborah. Deborah says, LawPay has just unveiled Client Credit, which is a lending solution for clients to pay their legal fees. Is there any consideration of an option like that with LeanLaw Payments at some point in the future?
Yes, you will be seeing that soon, actually. I know Gravity is working on that offering, and I expect it in the next few months.
Okay. And then Kelsey wanted to know if we charge a surcharge to our clients, does Gravity LeanLaw keep that surcharge or does it get deposited to our account? Okay, I can explain that. So what'll happen is that surcharge that you charge to your clients will get deposited to your account, but Gravity does come in and pull those surcharges back out because it's basically their surcharge. But instead of just coming out of part of your profit, you're collecting it on their behalf from your client, and then they're going to take it back.
Right. And most of you are living in places with bar rules that do not allow the law firm to profit from a surcharge. And so Gravity's system is compliant as far as that goes.
And
we can also set up the accounting so that these surcharges are accounted for separately.
right. And then we have another question. Can we have the new email send features without using Gravity?
No, that is specific to Gravity.
And we have, when will this recording be able to review? I missed a section with a phone call.
Oh, it's shortly after it's over. So
Okay,
I don't know
perfect.
exactly how long that takes on Zoom, but we are recording.
All right.
Okay. So we're almost done. And so that you're going to receive an email right after this. It's going to have links for the assisted onboarding if you're ready for that with Tracy. If you want to set up a follow-up call with me, if you have questions more on kind of the business side and do we really want to do this, there'll be an option to do that, and then a link for DIY materials so you can learn more about this and kind of study it for yourself. So just in conclusion, as Tracy mentioned, LeanLaw Payments is included free in your subscription. We really want your feedback so we can take this, what we think is a good feature, and make it awesome. And we want to understand how we did today, how to make this presentation better, make sure we're answering your questions. And then, just want to understand what we can do to help you get signed up. So we're excited about this feature. We want as many people as possible to take advantage of it. It's going to be the default way of doing payments in LeanLaw going forward. So we hope everybody gets fired up and excited to use this. Any more questions?
Yeah. Is
a bunch of them. Okay.
No, we've been doing those as we go. Oh,
Go Tracy.
Is American Express accepted? Do you know?
Yes,
Card Visa, okay. And was there a batch fee if the ACH option is used to pay? I had trouble logging in at the beginning. I could have missed this info. Was
a
there
batch fee.
if the ACH option is used to pay? So there's is it 1% ACH fee?
1% up to $30 max.
Right.
Or there is a 0.35% option that takes 3 to 4 days to settle.
Is there maximum? Okay, I think we just answered that, Kelsey. Is there a maximum on ACH charges? Law Pay has a limit of 5,000. So
Oh,
LeanLaws is 30 per transaction.
yes,
correct?
but there is no maximum. You could do $100,000 ACH. That's you probably need to, give Gravity a heads up. You're going to do that. But I think we did one that was $200,000 was the largest.
Yeah, yeah.
Other questions, or you've done it all, Tracy?
Yeah, I'm at the end.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you everybody for your time.